Hello, friends, and welcome once again to your Business Accelerated. I'm your host, Attorney Shaune B. Arnold, and gosh, I'm so excited to be here today. We are going to be talking about venture capital and how to get that money into your business. Now, we've talked about different aspects of this subject in the past, but today we are going to talk about the sources of that money. But before we get started, I know, we have to do a little bit of housekeeping.
I want you to know that I am a California business attorney. And so that means that to the extent that we talk about these hardcore legal and business issues here on your business accelerated, you have to take it in the context that I am a California business attorney. If you live in another state or you live in another country, or yes, if you live in another state of mind, I want you to take what I tell you to an attorney in your jurisdiction and have them let you know if there are any differences between the law here in California, where I live, and the law there in the state of mind where you live, and we will know that you will be on target to hit your goals.
I also want to invite you over to my other podcast, Legal Biz Cafe. Here on your Business Accelerated, we are dealing with those hardcore issues that make you scratch your head. They stump you. They make you just feel like giving up, taking your jacks and your ball, and just going home and try it again another day. Over there on Legal Biz Cafe, we deal with your mindset. We deal with those emotional aspects of business that also make you want to take your ball and your jacks and just go home and get in the bed. With your Business Accelerated and Legal Biz Cafe, we put you on solid footing. We get you back hunkered down with your team and ready to just play that game with the rest of the entrepreneurs out there. So let's get started. I'm so excited. We are talking about the sources for capital in your business. Start by looking for people who actually have access to money. And that is actually a little bit easier than looking for the money itself, because that means you have two levels of people that you can find. You can find the people that have the money, and you can have the people that serve them, the people that have access to them. So who are these people? Well, I'm one of them. I'm a legal advisor to angel investors. Angel investors are people who have high net worth and who invest in businesses. We're going to talk about them this evening, and we're going to talk about how they actually perform due diligence for their clients, and that means vetting you. That also means vetting your business venture. The very first type of investor resource I'd like to talk to you about is the investment banker. And I know you have an idea in your mind of what an investment banker is. And it involves wearing really shiny shoes and a silk tie, and you probably don't know much else. That's because it's a really well-kept secret. Investment bankers are not bankers at all. They do not take deposits, and they do not lend money. Let me tell you what they do. They actually help raise debt and equity capital for their clients. How do they do this, you might ask? Well, I know you've heard of Goldman Sachs, right? I know you've heard of the trouble that they've been in, but let's talk about their function for a moment. Goldman Sachs makes money for their clients through the sale of private and public securities. Usually, you hear about the public securities. These are public offerings where companies issue their shares to the public and the operations of the general stock market, which handles securities trading in the marketplace.
These offerings do not generally involve microbusiness running a closely held enterprise, which has fewer than 34 shareholders. For small businesses looking to raise under $5 million, you can put together a SAFE agreement or private placement memorandum to raise that money.
If you are looking to raise more money than this from a large pool of investors, the public, then consider engaging the services of an investment banker. At the very least, You'll need the services of a securities attorney that can assist you with your SEC filings to take your company public. Selling shares of your business to the public is called taking your company public. Be aware that crowdfunding has changed this game. When crowdfunding began, people could easily invest in your project. The SEC has now allowed further crowdfunding directly into the business itself through the purchase of shares. Talk to a business attorney if you have questions about this exciting topic, either as an investor or as a company seeking to implement this form of capitalization. If you have a product or a service that is really hot, they just might pick you up. If you recall the dot-com boom, and, well, bust, let's not talk about the bust. If you recall the dot-com boom of the 1990s, most of those companies were teeny tiny little companies that just had a really sexy idea. And they got in front of an investment banker, and the investment banker took them public. So that is a consideration. You can also look to some smaller boutique investment bankers. These are also merchant bankers and financial consultants, and they actually specialize in smaller entrepreneurial ventures, maybe like yours, that are in the $100,000 to, say, $5 million range.
These folks actually have a network of venture capitalists and angel investors that invest in the deals they find. I know a couple of people like this that whenever I have a client that's doing a real estate development or even a renewable energy project or something like that, I call these folks and they have a conversation with me. They are really open to the conversation. They're willing to vet the idea.
When this happens, I send the investment docs to them to review, together with a non-disclosure, non-circumvention agreement. If they feel that it is a good, solid investment, then they send it to their people, and their people are the people that actually have the money. So what they're doing is looking to screen out inappropriate financings before they actually pass any information on to their wealthy clients, and a lot of them can arrange debt and overseas financing as well.
Another idea for locating money would be to look online for meetup investment groups that talk about venture capital and angel investors. Look into these groups. Look into other groups as well.
My further suggestion would be that you go to where the money is. Where's the money, you may ask? Find a high-end resort or restaurant in your town. Sit at the bar and have a drink. People will sit nearby. Meet them. Find out about them. Give them some unique resource to help them. When I do this, I meet angel investors, venture capitalists, and people who have access to them, investment bankers and finance consultants. So do that. Set your intention and find out who it is that you actually need to meet. Put yourself in their space so that you can meet them. Go to golf clubs, go to resorts, go to where the people go who have money and who have access to the people who have money. Frequent these places so people get to know you. People do business with those they know, like and trust, right?
I would also encourage you to look for financial planners. Back in the day, right after I passed the California bar exam, I went to work for Prudential Securities. I obtained Series 7, 63, 65, and California insurance licenses.
I was charged with finding wealthy clients and investing their money. And so half of the problem for me was finding those wealthy clients. That was a real challenge. The other half of that equation, though, was finding places to put their money, and I didn't necessarily want to put them in McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and Pfizer. These were really good investments. I put some of their money in these investments, but I was also looking for some riskier ventures for some of my clients who said, "Is that all you got? Come on, I don't want a bond. I'm 38 years old, and I'm a friggin' millionaire." Find me someplace to put my money. They are out there, trust me. And so find those financial planners who have those clients, who have the appetite for risky ventures, and they just might be willing to invest in your company.
Also, look for loan brokers. I don't mean mortgage brokers, loan brokers and money finders. They are usually not qualified to give their clients a lot of financial advice in the deals that they put to them, but they do have some access to money.
I want to give you a really big caveat here, though. And here's where my California law license comes really largely into play. In California, an investor can unwind a deal when the person that brought them to the deal was not a registered business broker or business dealer or securities dealer. See, if you are looking to invest in somebody's business, or if you're looking for somebody to invest in your business and you don't know the person on the other side of the table, find yourself a licensed dealer or broker, because you do not want your person on the other side of the deal to be able to unwind the deal on a technicality that a finder brought it to you as opposed to a business broker. Now, the large reason why California did this is because finders are unsophisticated. They don't necessarily have the information that you need in order to make that business decision. Well, a licensed broker does have that information. They do have that training. They do have that knowledge. And so if you go with them, you are more likely to have assistance in vetting the deal or being vetted as the subject of the deal. And so you see, this is somebody that you really do want to get in bed with and marry yourself to, because they can really help you find the money. I also want to encourage you to look to venture capital clubs. They typically get together once a month and people pitch to the club. That is a huge learning opportunity for you to get out there and find out what the language of capital investment is and what the requirements of capital investment are and how far you are from that mark. You can even pitch at these meetings, and it doesn't matter if you're not ready, because they will tell you just how not ready you are. And a lot of them have workshops available where they will help you get ready to pitch them. How cool is that? Hello, they have money to give away, and they're going to tell you how to get it. Well, I call that hot. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining me today on this week's episode of Your Business Accelerated. I'm Attorney Shaune B. Arnold. I invite you to follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter X. In all of those places, I'm known as SHAUNE.Arnold. In the meantime, and in between time, I am, as always, reminding you to maximize your competence to get the confidence you need to succeed. I'll see you right back here next week on Your Business Accelerated. Bye-bye, friends.